What's up, future CPAs? Welcome to our deep dive on a topic that you absolutely need to nail for the LECPA, partnership dissolution. Now, I know it sounds intense, like a business breakup, and, well, it kind of is, but don't worry, we're going to break it all down so it actually makes sense and sticks in your brain, helping you snag those crucial points on exam day. So here's the game plan. First, we'll walk through the 3 critical stages of any partnership ending. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what causes it, the automatic stuff versus the times you gotta go to court. After that, we'll see what happens to a partner's power once the plug is pulled. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with a super focused bullet review. Let's get into it. Okay, picture this. You've been grinding away, building your dream business with a partner. Then out of nowhere, they hit you with, "I'm out." Total panic mode, right? Well, maybe not. The law actually has a playbook for this exact situation. It's not just one messy event. It's a step-by-step process. First things first, you have to get this straight. A partnership breakup is not a single moment. It's really a 3-part story. And trust me, the LexiPay loves to test if you know the order. We're talking about dissolution, winding up, and termination. Get these 3 in the right sequence, and you're golden. So Act 1 is dissolution. This is the starting pistol. It's that exact moment the dynamic shifts because a partner officially steps away. The business isn't gone yet, not by a long shot, but the original partnership agreement, that's officially been broken. Next up is the winding up stage. You might also hear it called liquidation. Think of this as the big cleanup phase. The business stops taking on new clients and starts settling its accounts. You're gathering up all the assets, paying off all the debts, and figuring out what's actually left for the partners. And finally, we hit termination. This is it, the grand finale. It's the moment in time when every last debt is paid, every asset is dealt with, and the partnership as a legal entity just ceases to exist. Game over. So let's put it all together. You can see the whole cycle right here. Dissolution is the change. Winding up is the process of settling everything. And termination is the absolute end. Seriously, burn this sequence into your memory. It's a core concept and, honestly, low-hanging fruit for the exam. Okay, we've got the what. Now let's talk about the why. What actually triggers a dissolution? Let's start with the automatic ones. These are events that legally dissolve the partnership without anyone having to step foot in a courtroom. So think of these as the no-drama dissolutions. If the partnership agreement said you'd be in business for 5 years, well, when that 5-year mark hits, it dissolves. Done. It also ends if all the partners just look at each other and say, "Yep, we're done here." Or if it's a partnership at will, meaning no end date was ever set, any single partner can just raise their hand and say they want out, and that kicks things off. Then you have these major life events where the law itself steps in and says, "Okay, party's over." This happens automatically if the business becomes illegal, if a partner dies, or if a partner or the partnership itself goes insolvent. Same goes for civil interdiction. That's a legal penalty where you lose rights like managing property. The law doesn't wait for a vote on these. But what happens when things get messy? When one partner wants out because things are going downhill but nobody else agrees. That's when you need a judge to step in. This is where we get into dissolution by court decree. You can't just storm out if, say, a partner is actively hurting the business or just isn't capable of doing their job anymore. You have to go to court and actually prove it. Grounds for this include a partner being declared legally insane, becoming physically incapable of performing their duties, constantly breaking the partnership agreement, or if the business is just bleeding money with no end in sight. This chart lines it up perfectly. Look at the pattern. The stuff on the left, death, insolvency, is black and white. It just is. The stuff on the right, insanity, incapacity, is gray. It requires a judge to make a call. Understanding this difference is going to save you on those tricky multiple choice questions. Okay, so the dissolution has happened. Now what? This is a huge point. Can partners still learn around making deals and signing checks on behalf of the partnership? Let's talk about what happens to a partner's authority. Seriously, think about it for a sec. The partnership as you knew it is basically over. So does that power to act for the business just evaporate? Well, the short answer is pretty much, yeah. The general rule is super clear. Article 1832 says that dissolution terminates a partner's authority. Period. That power of mutual agency, the thing that lets one partner bind all the others, is officially switched off. You can't create new obligations for your former partners. But, and you better believe this is a LECPA favorite, there are major exceptions. A partner's authority does stick around for a couple of really important things.
First, for any action that's necessary to wind up the business, like selling inventory to pay bills. And second, to finish any transactions that were already started before the dissolution. You can't just leave a client high and dry.
Whew, okay, that was a lot. But to make sure this stuff is locked in your brain for the long haul, I'm talking all the way to exam day, we've boiled it all down into one ultimate cheat sheet. So get your phone out. You are definitely going to want to screenshot this. And here it is, everything you need on one screen. The 3 stages in order, the key automatic causes versus the court-ordered ones, and the deal with a partner's authority, plus those all-important exceptions. Treat this like a digital flashcard. Quiz yourself with it. This is pure, high-yield info that can make a huge difference. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We've just gone through the entire legal process for how a partnership can end, from something predictable like a contract ending to something as messy and personal as a breach of trust. Knowing all of this, how does it change how you think about choosing the people you'll go into business with someday? It's not just about a good idea, it's about character and stability. Definitely something to chew on. All right, that's it for now. Study smart, and I'll catch you in the next one.